All right, so we finally have back down to the freezer top, so we're getting our projects knocked out. And I decided that I was going to clean down here and try to, make this a better work area so I could work in the wintertime or different stuff. Rainy days on little projects like this so we could keep having videos. But I found something neat while I was cleaning up. And so that's what we're going to look at right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. And growing up, we would go to auctions all the time. I mean, like every weekend if there was an auction. And back then there was good farm auctions that had all kinds of stuff. And, if there was a whole pile of stuff for $1, can't resist that. So Grandpa would buy it and then sort through it and kind of stuff it in cabinets and shelves and stuff wherever. So while I was cleaning through one of these cabinets, I found a stack of like implement manuals, different, nothing spectacular, electric motors, that kind of thing. A couple tillers and, whatever, Briggs & Stratton engine. And I found this. And it is a Tractor Supply catalog from summer 1967. And this is interesting because back in this day, you could actually get tractor parts at this store. I mean, they had about everything imaginable. And the thing that I think is neat about it, as we look at it, is check out the prices, It's something. I mean, remember those days. Here we have basically a hydraulic post pounder, $99. So that's pretty amazing. And then, hydraulic cylinders. I don't think you can get one now for under $100 at the farm store. A 3x8 or whatever, 4x8, $33. Engine overhaul kits, we'll look at more of those later, but yeah, you could get a complete engine overhaul kit for $100 or so. I mean, it's unbelievable. Sweeps, $9. Roller pump, $17, Special purchase, only $4.99 for a work boot. So, anyway, let's just page through and see what some of the stuff is. It's kind of neat. Push mowers. You had all kinds of choices. And it looks to me like the most deluxe one was $94. That was a 21-inch. Would that be self-propelled? I don't know. What makes it more expensive than the others? Yes, double-deck, self-propelled. 21-inch cut, 3.5 horsepower, Briggs & Stratton. Basically, the only difference it looks like to me is that it was self-propelled. All the others used about the same horsepower engine, even the cheapos, 3.5 horse or 3 horse Briggs & Stratton. Interesting, but yeah. Riding mowers. This is back when riding mowers weren't much, I'm telling you, because I've got one that Grandpa actually bought from I think he bought it from like the dime store, but it was basically the same type of thing. Very lightly made. The deck was made to the mower. You could not adjust the height other than, like on this one I see it has like side plates maybe where you could lower it down manually, but no quick adjustment of your deck. It was basically like a push mower you could ride on. But look at these deluxe. $172, $259, or this big job right here. Twin blade, 3 forward speeds. That's more similar to what you can get today. It looks like it has a deck that goes up and down, whatever, but $324. 7 horsepower. Those were the days, weren't they, friends? I mean, yeah. More push mowers here. I don't know why. If that was a different brand, maybe. $84. High wheel mower, 22-inch, $126. I mean, yeah. I don't think you can walk out of the store with anything like that for less than $100 now, can you? I mean, maybe if you have a coupon. What else do we have? Oh, super deluxe garden tractor, $419.95. That's interesting. Oh, and then this one, same as above, except no electric start. Recoil starter, $328. And that is just, check that out, marketing. $419 is just the tractor. The attachments are separate, $78. For attachments, if you buy it together, $479.50 or $398.50 for that one. So they kind of took you in there a little bit on that, you know. And I wonder if they had so many on hand in the store like they do now. Because I was thinking on that other page it said like, all mowers shipped freight, collect from store, not prepaid. So I don't know. I don't know if they would have had that many on hand. Some of you people probably remember those days and can fill in the comments. But you just look at all the stuff and realize how ridiculous of markup it is now. I mean, how much stuff has increased in price compared to how much what we've made increased. I mean, now a gallon of paint is $100 for a good quality paint, you know, like for implement. Now we have implement enamel, what, $4.57 for a gallon? So $5 versus $100, you know. Not saying that this is the best quality stuff, you know, comparable to like what they have now on the shelf. It's probably, what is it by now, 60 some dollars for a gallon of paint at the farm store, and back then $4. Rattle cans, $1.29 each, you know, $1.29. Now they're like $10. It's like increased 90%. Sprayers, supplies, I mean, yeah, roller pumps and just all kinds of stuff. And you just look at the prices and it's like, huh. I mean, that's amazing. Here's the Husky sprayers, $299, $344. Wonder what the difference is there. 28-foot boom, 8 rows, 15-inch spacing, 20-inch, 232 gallon. This one is 232 gallon. It must have shorter booms. Does it have a different pump? I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and read all this. It's just for interesting sake. I wouldn't give you $299 for one of those today at all, because there is a lot better choices now for spraying. Look at our weed killer. I mean, back then this was the good stuff. This is the stuff that didn't just kill the weeds, it killed all the weeds that your grandchildren would have to worry about. I mean, yeah, pretty cool. And mostly, what, $5 would get you done? $6.50 for that. I mean, here's 2,4-D brush killer, $11.15. Interesting. Planter parts. The extra add-on applicator hoppers. We had those on the John Deere planter, but they were the John Deere brand, you know, the factory installed deal. All your tillage parts, I mean, just nothing. $1 a shovel. I mean, oh, to be back in these times, you know. Mower parts. Your universal guards, 88 cents each. Fits all mowers except for Massey Ferguson Dyna Balance. Buy yourself a new sickle. I wish you could call them up today and do that. Look at that, Oliver, for mowers 1958 and up, 7 foot. $969, $1066 if you want underserrated. Chrome plated sections. You jump all the way up to the big price of $1 more, $12.69, $13.96. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to call them up and get one of these? This is kind of interesting, I thought. because I mean, this is something that they still sell today. You can get hay elevators, and it seems to me like even if you find a used one, like at an auction or equipment jockey, they want like $700, you know, for a 15-footer. And so like in this one, $69, you know. Make it a 50-footer. Oh boy, $194.65. That's just, it's unbelievable. I mean, when you think about it, how much stuff has went up. It's crazy. Bush hog, $289 for a complete with PTO and semi-pneumatic tail wheel assembly. If you want the fast hitch version for the internationals, it's $259. Now I think the cheapest one is like, what, $1,600? Hay baler parts. Original roto baler type belts. How about that? Call them up and do that. Laced belts. All kinds of stuff that used to be so common and now it is not. Oliver, all roto bar rake teeth, 33 cents a piece. I think I paid over $4 and I had to buy them 100 at a time. Silage vacuum bag kits, yeah. Grain drying and aeration systems, a heavy duty drying fan, $324. This section I read quite a few things on because I thought it was neat, and because this is the kind of stuff that I buy a lot of. Bearings, I mean, look at your roller bearings, like an inch roller bearing, $2.57. I mean, that ain't nothing. That's for American made. You want imported, it saves you what? Not even $1 in some cases, but two different prices. I mean, and then your chain, I mean, look at that. Look at the prices on it. 60 cents a foot, 54 cents a foot, 8 cents a foot. Combine parts for old Alice Chalmers, like pull type combines and stuff, you know, look at that. Belts. There's a expensive belt, the most expensive belt, $20.95. Now I don't think the cheapest belt is even $20.95 on any type of combine. Rattle chains, complete assembly, $20.95. Canvas, I thought this was neat too, you know, look at all this. Buy a complete canvas for your combine. Oliver number 2 and 15, you know, $20, $27, $47, $45 for the main draper. Treated with something. I wonder what it was treated with. Does it tell us? It says double stapled, double riveted, rubberized with a full layers of real rubber. Vastly superior to common black canvas. Metal slats instead of half-inch instead of usual 3/8. Wood slats of straight grain hardwood with countersunk construction holes. Interesting. Vulcanized canvas. I mean, this is just, this kind of blows my mind. I mean, it's not, I guess it is kind of long ago, but not really in the grand scheme of things when you think of how much stuff has changed and technology has progressed. And I mean, look at all this stuff that just used to be everyday stuff. Sickle sections, $2.19. Oh, get your grain extension divider for your corn head, or for your combine grain head, $51.95. Sickle grinder machine. I have a sickle grinder machine, $47.95. Ours is made differently than that, though. Parts for beet and potato harvesters. That's interesting. See the fall catalog for that. This I thought was neat. Combine cylinder bars. I mean, yeah, you can't even buy one bar for this price. And look at this. Like, for instance, that 55 combine, serial number 6901 and up. Set of 8 bars, 4 rights and 4 lefts, $35.45. If you want hard surface bars, $41.45. That's crazy. I mean, wow. Those were the days. It shows cockshut bars. It doesn't. I didn't find Oliver cylinder bars in there for whatever reason. Combines. A new concave, 7725 for a John Deere 55. Well, here's what I need. The rattle chain inside for a 55 John Deere. It would be this one, the 14 slide assembly maybe. 3350. Boy, I wish I could latch onto that nowadays. Like I said, the one I found was $700. Elevator chains, complete elevator chains, 15 bucks, you know, for stuff. Grain drag chain. I guess this is technically the one I need. 19 conveyor under cylinder for all 55 and 65 machines, $26.50. That's crazy. Update it with the latest roller type chain. Wonder what the difference is. If that one was flat chain, 55 steel link chain, and this is roller chain. What I have is roller chain, $49.95. Still a good price. They even sold the cylinder drive sprockets, which is pretty neat. That is, I'm guessing, only for Massive Harris, looks like. I would be interesting to see if there was a section that had, like, Minneapolis Moline sprockets, because, you know, I don't have any for mine. It'd just be interesting to see what they were back then, but I guess that wasn't common enough to deal in. Combine belts. Look at that. Belts for the pull type combines. Just nothing. I mean, what's the most expensive one in that? $14.75. Self-propelled combines, $28.25 for the cylinder drive, traction drive belt. Oh, Clean Right oil filter cartridges, 79 cents. Double your money back, guarantee. I mean, look at this. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what's what. Cotton type, paper type. Are these just oil filters only, or are these must just be engine oil filters and not anything else on the machine? So like an 1800 should have a sock filter, 2-3910, $1.69 each. 1800 all fuels, 2-3971, 2-3971. That's probably the number of the sock that I'm thinking of. Oh, full flow on that other one. Interesting. Batteries. Get yourself a brand new 12-volt battery for $16. Motor oils. 16.5 cents a quart in 15-gallon drums. Tires. Wouldn't it be nice to go back to these prices? Check these out. There's the tires for your pickup. I mean, as low as $18.27. Car tires, same way. Still the old sizes, like 825/14 instead of like what we have now. Old bias ply. Yeah, good old tires. Tractor tires. I'd like to jump in a time machine and take a semi-truck with me and load up a whole truckload of these. I mean, look at this. 15 5/38s, $81 a piece. $81.66. 6-ply tire. That's something. That's on sale. It usually is $85. 16.9, let's see. 16.934, $81.18. for the Husky field grip. Now our front tractor tires, geez, what do we have here? 650 16, 6-ply, $15.19. Now, I don't think you can get one for less than $100. Super flotation tires, $21.95 for like your 11L15. 1115, 8-ply. Okay, 1115, 8-ply, $25.85. Been a while since we had one of those at that price. This is neat too. I'll kind of pan over it, so if you see something you want to look at, you can stop for curiosity's sake. But I mean, look at these prices on stuff. Like that WD of Dad's. You want to overhaul it? Complete overhaul kit, $80.95. You know? Look at all of these different brands. A $100 bill would get you a practically new motor. Look at these Oliver things. A 77 with high compression gas, $118.50 for the 6 cylinders kit. You want to do your 88, $127.75. I mean, and just browsing over the page, not reading every single line, it looks to me like the most expensive price is right here, $147.75 for a 4010 diesel to overhaul your 4010 diesel. I mean, you couldn't even buy one piece for one hole, I don't think, for that price today. Build your own tractor cabs. I mean, look at that, $489.50. Looks like they sold brackets. It's about like the heat housers. They sold you probably the same cab and then various brackets to adapt it to about anything you wanted for just pretty well whatever. You want to buy it and build your own mounts? $419.50. Combine cabs. If you didn't get the factory cab and you decided later you'd like to have that, $400. 3-point conversions, $62. That's basically what a lot of them are worth. They didn't necessarily work the greatest, but if you wanted 3-point, $62. But just look at all that stuff, all those linkage parts. Take that picture with you and then go in there today and see what the stuff costs. Go downtown to your local farm store and buy yourself a brand new shiny auger wagon, $319.95. Want to put a hoist on your flatbed? $69.95. Grain truck, $229.95. That's a value at any price. 3-point post hole diggers, $119.95. That's crazy. You could even get the PTO assembly and drive shaft to put it on your truck. Look at your other farm equipment. Cement mixers. The back scoops. Grater blade. Boom poles and carry-all. Oh, consequently, somebody asked me about that. I'll have to bring it up in another video because he probably won't. Maybe he won't see this video and know what I'm talking about. But somebody commented and asked about that platform on the back of that Ford. And it is, we always called it the red thing. It didn't really have any name, and it's made out of garbage. Like it's basically one of these carry-alls that has wood on it, except it didn't start out as this. This part is homemade. Somebody welded together whatever they had. And growing up, it was like rotten plywood. And it had one piece across the back and then the floor. And then several years ago, I decided that thing was really handy, the red thing. So I went and bought, I think 2x6s and built it. And then I changed it. I reinforced it by bolting the ends together with one running, the length of the thing. So your main frame is crossways across these forks. I guess if I did it on the picture, it would make more sense, like this. And then the other ones run parallel with the forks on the 2 outside corners, and that really stiffens it up. And it's survived outside pretty good because it basically lives, a lot of times it's sticking out of the shed or whatever. But yes, the red thing is pretty handy if you need a platform. Dad actually bought one of these frames from the farm store several years ago and built one for the back of his 200. But the problem we had on that was since it's category 2 and a bigger tractor, it didn't have enough room for the backside of the hitch to fit in there, and he ended up cutting like a notch around there so that it had room for the hitch arms to slide on over the pins. I don't know if that makes sense. You'd have to see it to understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, go to the farm store and build yourself your own red thing. Look at your fencing supplies. Man, you could build a lot of fence for $17.95, you know. Studded T-posts, 84 cents. I think now they're probably about $5.84 a piece. Gates. This must have been the era when these were popular, and I dearly hate this type of gate. Every one we have eventually failed because the rivets pull out, or the metal tears around the rivets. But I guess they were probably cheaper, and that's why. Look, 16 bucks. But that style gate of like a corrugated steel, 20% lighter than wood or pipe gates. Well, they proved out that that's true. I'll tell you that. Ooh, drive-through automatic gate, $19.95. Fence chargers. These were back probably when, you know, they weren't as safe as they are now. Tractor umbrellas. I bought some of those over the summer, like for that deer, and I think I paid like $400 for just the canvas. And look at this. You can get anything. Umbrella only, less bracket, $13.90. Umbrella complete, $15.95. Cover only, $4.69. Buggy top umbrella, $25.95. There's all your old timers hats. You know, everybody wore a hat back then. All those old pictures of great grandpa, he's got his hat on, probably about like that. You know, maybe it was similar to that, but in the pictures, I don't know. I always thought it'd be fun to get an old timey hat like that, closer to what his is. I have some straw hats, but they just don't look the same as like what he had. But I thought it'd be fun to recreate some of those pictures, you know, like the one with him sawing with the John Deere, and that. I've got all that stuff still. The tractor, the wagon, the saw. All I'd have to do is get a set of bib overalls and put on a hat. Look here, you could even get buildings back then. I did not know that. Machinery storage, cattle loafing barns, suburban stable, hog houses. They build on your property. Around here, the co-op farm store did that. There's a lot of buildings that were co-op buildings. My uncle's building is a co-op building there. You've seen in videos where I've been over there inside, or we drove the tractor around in front of it that time. That was a co-op building. All your livestock supplies, farrowing crates, polyethylene plastic pipe. There's a lot of that buried in the ground around here. I'll probably be doing it again because it's not the greatest anymore at the joints. There's your sump pump, like I just replaced. Only $33.95, and the new one was, of course, they warrantied it for me, but I was thinking that the price is $187.50 or something, so that's how much that's jumped up. I also thought it was neat to see back then how many stores they had. One page, you know. Around here, there was not one. The closest one would have probably been Indianapolis. You know, Evansville, Fort Wayne, Indianapolis, Kokomo, Lafayette, Muncie, South Bend, Terre Haute. And then ours came to be because it went into the old Kmart building. So I would say that most of those Tractor Supplies are in the old Kmart buildings, maybe, and that's when they expanded their territory whenever Kmart went bust. But, yeah, it's just interesting to see how many they had back then. It was not a huge company like it is now. I mean, now I think they bought did they buy the Orschelns? And then, I don't know how it became Boomgars, or did Boomgars buy that from Tractor Supply? I don't know. Or did Boomgars buy the whole works? But anyway, I guarantee you there's a lot more than just this right now. Even back then, they were trying to sell you the Tractor Supply charge card. Pretty neat. You could even order by mail. Have them ship it to you. What's our back cover? Oh, rivet tool. Rock guards. Look at that. 88 cents. Fire special. $3.59. Water jug. $3.11. $18.27 for a mud grip. Boy, we used a lot of them on the old pickup. So I don't know where he acquired this stuff at, but I'm sure it was at some auction. There's the guy's name. John B. Kerner from Nab, Indiana. If anybody knew him. This was his magazine, I guess. But I just thought that was neat that that survived in the stack of stuff, because it just gets you to thinking. I mean, there's people who are, you know, watching this right now that lived through this year, and it's really not that long ago in the grand scheme of things, and yet look at how much stuff has increased in price. It's kind of depressing to look at this book, really, you know, when you think of all the stuff that is just, who's the one making money, or we're the one losing in the deal, I guess, is the biggest thing. But, you know, where does all that money go? Why is it so much more to make the same stuff they've made since 1967? It's just hard to fathom that, but yeah. We could sit here and be sad about that all day, but I guess we'll call this a video. I don't know that it was that interesting, but I thought it was worthy of looking at and discussing, because, like I said, I found it interesting when I looked at it the other day and found it, so, yeah. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.